Okay, so I wanted to talk today about Bhagavad Gita again. It's my favorite subject, Bhagavad Gita. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshura Militan Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vichaitanna Manabhistam Stavitan Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Karamaya Didanti Swapadanti Kam. First of all, I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Shiksha and Diksha Guru, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asatara Satasi Simad, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Then I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Shiksha and Sannyas Guru, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asatara Satasi Simad, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Shiksha Gurus, Nitya Lila Prabhishta Om Vishnupada Satada Sata Sisimad, Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharti Goswami Maharaj. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, Srila Gorakishore Das Babaji, and Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And I offer my humble obeisances unto the feet of all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are present here today, my Dandavat Pranams. So, we're going to talk today about Bhagavad Gita. And we're going to discuss some things from the 7th chapter.
Dandut Pranam Maharajji. Dandut Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. So, we know that Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 sections. The first 6 chapters discuss Karma Yoga, which means that we're offering the fruit of some of our work to Krishna, that we will get some benefit for that also. In other words, offering something to Krishna and offering something for ourselves. So this is Karma Yoga. This is not Shuddha Bhakti. Then the last 6 chapters are Gyan Yoga, in which we try to understand how this material world is operating since we're living in it. And the middle 6 chapters are Bhakti Yoga, the process of developing devotion to Krishna. Within the middle 6 chapters, the 7th, 8th, and 9th chapter represent the knowledge of Sambandha, which is union with Krishna, Prayojan, the goal of Krishna consciousness, and Abhideya, the process of Krishna consciousness. So first we are going to discuss 7th chapter, beginning with the verse number 7. Already in verses 5 and 6, Krishna has discussed the material nature. Aparayam itastvanyam prakritim vidime param jiva bhutam mahabaho yeyadam daryate jagat. Besides this inferior material nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind, which are all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining the universe. So here he's establishing how the jiva is living within the material universe, but he's a superior energy. The other Panchamahabhut and the subtle energies, manas, buddhi, ahankara. So these are all inferior material energies, okay? But the jiva is a superior energy. He's superior to the material nature. Because he's part and parcel of Krishna, Mamaivam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. He's eternally a part of Krishna, so therefore he is superior to this material nature. So he's establishing the relationship of the jiva with the material nature. And what is the relationship of the jiva with the material nature? That the jiva is superior to material nature. So this is the first thing that's established. Then, Matta Paratama Nanyat Kitchirasti Dhananjaya Sarva Mai Sarva Midam Protam Sutre Manigana Iva. That Matta Paratamanan, there's no truth superior to me, Krishna says. So although the jiva is a superior energy to the material nature, Krishna is the superior truth to everything. There is no truth superior to Krishna. The whole universe, Sutre Manigana Iva, are strung upon Krishna just like pearls are strung on a thread. So then Krishna talks about this material nature. Davyesha guna mai mama maya durataya. This is my maya. I own it. Mamevaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. The divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond this material nature. So Krishna is explaining here how we can cross over this divine material nature of his, this divine energy of his. Daivesha gunamayi, mama maya durataya. It's my maya, Krishna is saying. I own it. And you can easily cross over it if you have the right mentality. But then he describes those persons who don't have the right mentality. Namam duskritino mudha prapadyante naradama maya frita jnana asurim bhavim ashritaha. The duskritinas, these are the very evil people who don't listen to any reason. Naradamas, the lowest among mankind. Maya Frita Jnana, the ones whose intelligence has been stolen by Maya. And Asurim, the demoniac personalities, the Asuras. None of these people, they can ever surrender to Krishna for any reason. They don't want to surrender to Krishna. They don't like to surrender to Krishna. They don't want to think about surrendering to Krishna. They are firmly covered by the Maya, Daivesha Guna Maya. Guna Maya, three modes of material nature, tamas, rajas, and sattva. The Naradamas and the Duskritinas are in Rajagun, and the Asurim are in Tamagun, and the Maya Frita Jnana are in Sattvagun, but they're all in the gunas, material nature. So being completely absorbed in this material nature, it is not possible for them to understand how to have a relationship with Krishna. They cannot establish a relationship with Krishna. Their relationship is with the material world, with Maya. And although they're as jivas, they are a superior energy to Maya. They think of themselves as the controllers of Maya, which they are not. Maya controls them through the modes of material nature. Then, who are the four kinds of people who can establish a relationship with Krishna? Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritano arjuna. Then Artha Vignas or Artha Arti, Gyanicha Bharata Shava. Chaturvida, four kinds. Chatur means four, Vidha. Chaturvida Bhajanti Mam. Bhajant, there's four kinds of people who worship me, who have faith in me, Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaturvida Bhajanti Mam. Jana Sukritano Arjuna. They have sufficient pious mentality by which they can surrender to me. Who are those persons? Artha, Jignasha, Artha, Arti. Those who are in distress, those who are in need of money. So these persons, they will pray to God. Dear God, I am in trouble. Something has happened. Someone is sick. There's been an accident. The house has fallen down. There is earthquake. There is tornado. There is so many problems. So, my dear Lord, you please help me. So this is Artha, distressed person. Then Artha Arti, I need money. There are so many difficulties. I have to have money to pay my bills, to solve my problems. Please give me money. So in this way, these kinds of people pray to God. But because they're pious, they pray to God. The persons who are not pious think, I don't have to pray to God. I will work hard. I will make more money. I will defeat nature. I will rise up out of the ashes of this hurricane or fire or whatever. I will become better. So that is ahankara, ahankara vimudatma. But those who are pious, they pray to God. So Artha and Artha Arti. And Jignasur, these persons, they don't have any troubles in life. They have some good karma. So their life is pretty smooth. They don't need any money. They have enough money, nice house, nice car, nice family, everything nice. But they're thinking, is this the life? That's it. Everything nice? Is there something more to life than nice? Is there something more to life than nice house, car, money, and family? Is there a greater thing that I can get? But what is that thing? What is that is greater? He becomes inquisitive. Jignasu. So these are the people we want to attract to Krishna consciousness, because they're not trying to make a deal with God, a bargain. I will pray and you will give me money or you will give me relief. But they're thinking, okay, I want to pray to you. You can give me some insight into the reality of life. Jignasu. And then Gyanicha. Gyanicha are the persons who have, after many births, accumulated a lot of knowledge about spiritual life and about God. And they want to understand God. They're praying to God for realization, to become self-realized. Tesham Gyani Nitya Yukta Eva Bhaktir Vishishyate Preya Hi Janino Tyartam Aham Sacha Mama Priya.
Dandavat Pranam,
Maharaj.
Maharaj-ji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna.
Of these, the wise one who is full of knowledge in union with me through pure devotional service is the best. For I am dear to him and he is dear to me. And Udara Sarva Eva Te. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider him to verily dwell in me. Being engaged in my transcendental service, surely he will attain me. Bahunam janmanam ante jnananam mam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So it is very rare to be a great soul like this and to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and get the blessings of the Supreme Lord. Now we have understood what is the position of the persons who don't surrender to Krishna, the persons who surrender to Krishna, and what their relationship is. So this is 7th chapter of Gita. 7th chapter is about Sambandha, union with Krishna. Who is Krishna? Who are the jivas? What is the material nature? What is the relationship? It's about relationships. This is 7th chapter. Now we come to 8th chapter. 8th chapter is about prayojan. Ananya chetaha satatam yomam smarati nityasa tasyaham sulabha parata nitya yuktasya yogina. For one who remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. Mamupetya punarjanma dukalaya mashashvatam napnu vanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gatim. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this material world, temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. So this is Prayojan Tattva, the goal. What is our goal? To go to that place where we never return to this material world, to this temporary material world. Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punar Vartino Arjuna Mamupetya Tukunteya Punar Janma Navidyate. Punar Janma Navidyate. No more birth in this material world. You never return here. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again in this material world. So this is the goal of Krishna consciousness, the prayojan. So 8th chapter is giving us the knowledge of the goal. The goal is to go to that place where we never return again to this material world. So this is the meaning of 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And then we come to 9th chapter. Now in 9th chapter, Krishna says, I'm going to give you the most hidden of knowledge. Idam tute guyatamam. Guyatama means hidden knowledge. Pravakshyami anasuyave. Jnanam vijnanam sahitam yat ganatva mokshashi subhat. Pravakshyami anasuyave. Because you're never envious of me, Arjuna. Envy is the first sin. By being envious of Krishna, then we become lusty for his opulences, greedy to become wealthy, famous, powerful, knowledgeable. We hanker after the opulences of Krishna. So here, Krishna tells Arjuna that because you're never envious of me, I'm going to impart to you the most secret wisdom, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. So now he's going to give Arjuna the process of devotional service, how to become free from this material nature. And he explains the material nature. He explains how difficult it is. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina. Matstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshavastita. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So Krishna is explaining how everything is within him, and yet he is not within every living being. He is as Paramatma, but Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of God, it is separate. But he explains it, that this is the actual position. I'm not actually there. Nachamatstani bhutani pashyaye me yogam aishwaram bhutabrin nachabuta sto mamatma bhutabhavana mamatma bhutabhavana. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. So first he says everything is in him, and then he says not everything is resting in him. Behold my mystic opulence, although I am the maintainer of all living beings, and although I am everywhere, still myself is the very source of creation. So in this way, he's explaining his unlimited, powerful position. The whole cosmic order is under me. By me, by my will, it is manifested again and again, and by my will, it is annihilated at the end. Maya dyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Hetunanena konteya jagadvi parivartate. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Abhijananti mam mudha manushim ashrimati manushim tanumashritam parambhava majananto mamavuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in this human-like form. They deride me and they make criticism of my position. They think I'm an ordinary human being. But they do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. So Krishna is explaining here that his transcendental position is that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is over everything material in this world, and he is over everything spiritual. He will explain this in the 10th chapter. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti madbhajante mam buddhabhava samanvitaha. But now he's going to call out those wicked persons who denigrate him. He just explains that there are some persons who do not understand me. Abhijananti mam mudha manushim tamum apshritam parambhava majananto. my special position, Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram, my transcendental nature, which makes me supreme. So those persons, Moga Shah, Moga Karmano, Moga Jnana Vichetasa, Rakshashi Matsurim Chayava, Prakritim Mohinim Shita. Those who are thus bewildered and think that I am an ordinary man when I come and manifest myself in this world, those persons are attracted to demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes are for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all destroyed. That's it. They're defeated. They are completely defeated and completely destroyed. They have no position because they are denying the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So because they are denying this authority, Krishna is crushing them. He will crush them completely. Now he describes the persons who are engaged in his service. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivam prakritim ashritaha bhajanti ananya manaso gnatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, they're not deluded by this material nature. They don't think that they are the controllers of material nature. They don't think that when Krishna comes as an avatar, an incarnation, that he is an ordinary human being. They don't think like that. They are under the protection of the divine nature. Diving prakritim ashrita. Ashrita, they have shelter of the Daivam Prakritim. They are fully engaged in devotional service. Bhajanti Ananya Manaso. They are undivided in their devotion, bhaja, in their bhajan. They are one pointed in their bhajan, manaso, with their minds fixed on the process of devotional service. They are fully engaged in devotional service. Why? Gnatva Bhutadim Avyayam. Gnatva, they have knowledge of Krishna's supreme being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They know him in that position. They know that he is the original source of everything and that he is inexhaustible. So therefore, they're always engaged in devotional service. How do they engage? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantas cha dridha vrata namasyantas chamam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So there's a very important position here, very important point, that this is stated here in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that kirtan is the process, always chanting my glories, kirtayanto mam, endeavoring with great determination, yatantascha dridha vrata, serious vrat, serious determination, serious vow of always chanting my glories and serving me. How? By bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually namasyantas, to bow down. Shamam bhaktya, because they are my devotees, they're always bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Nitya yukta upasate. Nitya, always, eternally. They're eternally worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead with devotion. And what happens to a person who is a devotee like this, such a person, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paryupashyate Nitya Yukta Viyuktanam Yoga Shema Vahamyam. Those who worship me with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So Krishna will carry what you lack. Maybe you are trying to preach and you have some defects, some difficulties, some impediments, huh? But Krishna will make up for those impediments. Srila Prabhupada was singing and making recordings of bhajans. He was a very elderly man. And by a material estimation, one can say, oh, he did not have a very polished or professional voice. But where will you get such bhav? Huh? Can you find such bhav anywhere? No. So that bhav, Krishna, he Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, he takes up this situation and he creates a situation by which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he protects his devotee, and those things that he is lacking, he will provide him with those things. He will provide him with those things. Do not worry, Krishna is providing, and Krishna is also preserving what you have. Whatever percentage of Krishna consciousness you've gained, you will never lose it. No matter how many difficulties you go through, you will never lose it. So we see that those who are surrendered to Krishna, they are completely protected by Krishna. Those who engage in the service of Krishna are completely protected by Krishna. And they give Krishna so much service. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Pitrin Yanti Pitri Vrata. Excuse me. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pitrin Yanti Pitri Vrata. Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yanti Mad Yajinopi Mam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth amongst the demigods. Those who worship the ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. But those who worship the ancestors will go to the ancestors. And finally, those who worship me, they will come to live with me in the spiritual world. Therefore, yat karoshi yadashnasi, yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasvasi kunteya, yat karosveva mad arpanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, you should do them as an offering to me. And he also, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yev, yes. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhakti Prayachati. Offer me a fruit, flower, a leaf, and water. And whatever you offer me with love and devotion, I will accept, Krishna says. Finally, in the last verse of the 9th chapter, Krishna gives the ultimate instruction of how to perform devotional service. Manmana bhavamad bhakto majiji mam namaskaru mam evaishyasi yukvaivam atmanam matparayana. Engage your mind always in thinking of me offer obeisances and worship me, be completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So here, Krishna is making it very clear what the process of bhakti is. The process of bhakti is always thinking of Krishna, always putting Krishna in the center, making Krishna the goal of your life, that nothing is more important than worshiping Krishna. One should behave and act in this way. And by doing this with love and devotion, surely you will go to Krishna. Surely you will come to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You will achieve Prayojan Tattva, the goal of going to the Supreme Lord Krishna. This is the process of devotional service. This is the goal of devotional service. So, one second. So, 7, 8, and 9. 7th chapter is Sambandha Gyan. 8th chapter is Prayojan Tattva, and 9th chapter is the process of performing devotional service. So within the context of the three divisions, the first 6 chapters being Karma Yoga, the last 6 chapters being Gyan Yoga, the middle 6 being Bhakti Yoga. The first 3 of the 6, 7, 8, and 9, are Sambandha Gyan, Prayojan Gyan, and Abhideya Gyan. Yes. Now we will entertain some questions. We have a question from someone who is present here in the house. Vasudev Krishna, my disciple, wants to ask a question.
So the question is, like everybody says that we will go back to Godhead. Then the question here is like, why did we come from Him? We were from Him only, right?
Yeah.
We are a part and parcel of Him. We were actually there only.
Yeah.
So why did He send us to this worldly planet?
Okay. So
and then again, He wants us to go back.
There are all of the jivas begin in the Brahman. The Brahman effulgence coming from Krishna has unlimited jivas in it. And from this effulgence, the jivas are coming. Some of those jivas are Balaram Anga Jyoti, means they are limbs of Balaram, which Balaram places in Goloka as Nityasiddhas, and then in his form of Mula Sankarshan, he places them in Dwarka and Mathura, and then as Maha Sankarshan, he places them in Vaikuntha. Then there are some of the jivas which go in the body of Mahavishnu. And when Mahavishnu glances down on the material nature, those jivas are coming down in the glance. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, okay, please, no whining. No whining now. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in Jaiva Dharma that when the jivas are coming down the glance of Mahavishnu, it's like fish in a river. Some of the fish go to one side, some go to the other. On the one side, they see the spiritual world, and they make a choice to go to the spiritual world. On the other side, they see the material world, and they exercise their minute independence to go to the material world. So it is part of that split-second decision on the part of the jivas when they look at this material world and they decide to come here in this material world, but it's their decision.
Jiva's decision.
Yes.
Not the Lord.
No.
He gave us a choice.
Yes.
That you can come to spiritual world.
Yes.
Or you can go to the material
yes.
world. So Jiva decided that I will go to the material world.
Yes.
Okay. Because a lot of people ask this question: why did the God send us to us on this planet?
He didn't send us here. He gave us choice, and we chose to come here.
Why did we choose to come here?
Because we thought we could be Krishna.
We were jealous of Krishna.
Envious, due to envy.
Envy.
Yeah.
So when this question was asked in my class, so I also gave some kind of, but I was also not satisfied with that answer. Now it is clear.
Now it was clear?
Yes.
Good. I have cleared your doubts. Anybody else has a question tonight?
He has a question that Lord Krishna says that Atma is like, soul is like beyond everything. It cannot be cut into pieces. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be anything. Nothing can be done to soul. So then why this soul is suffering? Is the soul really suffering?
No. The soul doesn't suffer.
Exactly.
The soul is in one place in this body, in the Anhat chakra, in the subtle body.
Yeah.
And then the consciousness emanates from the soul all over the subtle and gross body, the Shukshma Surya and the Stula Surya. Now, when the sun shines in the universe, the sunshine comes into the earthly planet and it becomes polluted,
Contaminated.
Excuse me. It becomes polluted by the contamination in the atmosphere. But the soul doesn't become contaminated. The sun doesn't become contaminated. The sunshine becomes contaminated, but the sun doesn't become contaminated. So the consciousness can become contaminated by the association of the modes of material nature, but the soul doesn't become contaminated. So the soul is never suffering. The soul is never an illusion. The consciousness, it thinks that it's an illusion. It thinks that it's under the control of Maya. It thinks that because of the polluted consciousness. You understand, Bindi? It is not actually...
Subtle body which is suffering.
Yes, the subtle body, the mind, manasa.
बोल रहा था कि चिट्ठी में भी आत्मा के ऊपर प्रवेश करता है, फिर आत्मा का कोई गलती नहीं होती है, तो चिट्ठी में प्रवेश करती है, छोटे-छोटे कीड़ों में प्रवेश.
The question is why the soul is entering into any other jiva, like small jivas, like ant, insects. If the soul is not suffering, soul doesn't have any punishment.
No, but because the consciousness becomes distracted. So the consciousness becomes distracted and it starts thinking that it can find pleasure in different ways. And because the consciousness becomes illusioned and thinks that it can find pleasure in different ways, it tries to enjoy pleasure in different forms of life, depending on the influence of Tamagun, Rajagun, or Sattvagun. Yes. So due to the influence of the modes of nature, the consciousness is under the illusion that there is some kind of happiness to be obtained in the different species that they're going into. And so the living entity has to go through all these species. And it starts out in the trees, and then from the trees it goes fish, first the fish, then the trees, then the insects, then the birds, then the animals, then the human beings. So, like this.
And that is how they get punishment also. Like.
Yes, and it is how they have to suffer for their karmas, their bad karmas, their sins.
And I'm sorry, I'm taking time, it seems.
Well, you're asking a lot of questions. I don't know if the people are hearing all of his questions. Are you hearing the questions?
Yes,
Yes,
Maharaj.
Maharaji.
Okay, so they're hearing the
So
question.
the question is, like, we to reduce our to so from human body,
Yes.
this consciousness or this jiva goes to the downwards, like adhogati, like it goes to the animal jivas or the other jivas to reduce their bad karmas. So
Yes.
to consume all the bad karmas, let's
Yes.
say the bad karma is completely reduced in the animal jivas, and
Yeah.
from the animal, where does it come? Does it come directly to the human form?
It depends. Very complicated. There is an evolution where it goes from one species to another.
To another.
But once you achieve the human species and you've committed some bad karmas, then you may go down to become a dog, say, like that. And then again, you may be born a human right after that. It happens like that.
Right. So that means after the bad karma is reduced, again come back to the.
Yes. So don't become dog. Because maybe you have to go through few births, animal births, and then come to human again.
Right.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for opportunity to tell you about Bhagavad Gita.
Dandavad Maharaj, Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad Pranam Maharaji.
Maharaji, Hare
Dandavad
Krishna.
Pranam Maharaji.
Dandavad,
Hare
Dandavad,
Krishna.
Dandavad.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna
Maharaji,
Krishna.
how you are feeling now, Maharaji?
No, I'm okay. Just there's some problem, some kappa, some mucus there in my throat.
Okay, Maharaji. Please take care, Maharaji.
Yeah.
Dandavad Pranam Maharaji.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Dandavad.
Hare